Can you hear me? So Redis is a in-memory database which stores the entire DB in memory. So Redis actually stands for Remote Dictionary Server. Today we will go through these kind of items, these items. So what is Redis? Advantage of Redis, Redis data types, the PubSub service, the transaction, pipeline, and partition. So as I said earlier, Redis is an in-memory database which stores entire DB memory. So it provides some advanced data structure like list, hash, solid set, etc. So it's commonly known as a data structure server. It's completely written in C by this fellow San Felipe. So advantage of Redis. It is fast because it stores everything in RAM. The read-write operations become fast as compared to the disk operation. Also, as I said earlier, it supports a lot of rich data types like list, hash, the key value like hash map. Also, everything in Redis is an atomic operation. Atomic operation means suppose two clients accessing it, value. All clients get the updated value, just like volatile variables in our language. It can be used as a multi-utility tool, like because the entire thing is stored in RAM. It can be used as a cache system, so that the read and write operations become fast, so that it can be used as a cache system. Also, it provides a PubSub, publish and subscribe system. Using that feature, we can use this Redis as a chat server system. This is an open source Redis. So, why Redis is different from other key value store? Because normally it provides data structure which helps the developer to handle the data, and then they don't require any data handling. I mean, they don't need to write anything about these data structures because it already provides these data structures. Also, even though it stores in memory, it stores the data into disk in a scheduled manner or while shutting down the server. So, Redis is available in many platforms like Windows, Linux, and Mac. So I just mentioned the installation step for Ubuntu. It's just you just type this command and you automatically download and install the server. So this is step for starting the server. Just type Redis server in the console. It will start automatically. Normally, Redis server is listening to the TCP port 6379. You can access this by using Redis CLI, the command line tool, the command line interface. So we can check if the Redis is working by just type ping command, you will get the response like this. So let's go on to the Redis data types. You can see that on the right side there is a lot of blocks are there. These are the data types available in Redis. Each Redis data type is identified by a key. The basic data types are string, hash tables, linked list, sets, and sorted sets. So let's move on to string. String is the most basic kind of Redis data structure. It's binary state means it has a node like that. It's not determined by any special character. or any delimiters, so that it can store any values of any length, but it has a limitation, of course. It can store up to 5 MB of value per single string. So these are the basic operations that can be applied on string. This append means we are appending some values to existing string. So get, set for accessing and writing, update. Mget for is actually multiple gets. We can provide so many keys after mget, it will get all those values. The reverse is mset. The next data structure is list. So actually, normally lists are formed of arrays, but here it is formed of linked list. So it keeps the insertion order. So if you want to add anything or if you want to remove anything from the list, it gives the same performance. Means if you have the 10, if you the length of this list is 10 or it is 10,000, you will get the same performance while adding or removing. So we can the maximum length of this list is 4 billion. So these are some operations can be applied to the list. It's an L push and R push. So we are pushing the values to left and to right. So pop means we are taking the values. You can see that there is a BL pop and BR pop. Normally list operations are non-working bit. Suppose we have two processes. Consider the consumer-producer problem. So we have two processes. One is writing to a string to the same to the list, and one process is accessing the same list. Suppose this list is empty. The second process is keep on calling this R4. So this kind of calling is a bad way of programming. So there is an option here. It's a blocking right hook. It's actually blocking the operation, so that it will return the value only if any value is present there. So that's the use of the BR4 and B. The next data structure is sets. It's unloaded collection of strings. Of course, all you know that sets don't allow duplicates. So SR and S1, S4, S is member. These are some operations applied to set. SR adding the elements, remove and read, and check whether the element is a member of. That's it. That's the meaning of these canons. Also, we can apply some operations, set operations like intersection, union, and difference. So you can see the. So next is hash. It's actually the normal hash method what we have used in Java. So we can store with values, key values, and it's up to, we can store up to, it's also 4 billion, 232, 232 minus 1 values we can store. The next item is the product set. Actually, this is the most advanced data types available in Redis data. Because it's every member of this sort of set is associated with a value. Based on that value, these structures gets sorted. So while we adding an element to the sorted set, we specify the key and the scope. It's a double value, and the value. Where is the actual value we are going to insert? So next thing is the publish and subscribe system. Actually, many clients can subscribe to a particular message context. If you know the queue and topic, you know the publisher and subscribe system. And many clients are connected to a common topic. So anyone try to publish any message to that topic, the other clients get that notification. So it can be used as a chat system, a comments, apps, and real-time analytics. You can use. Redis supports transactions. Or we know transaction in real and RDBFS. It's very similar to that. We can execute a series of commands. It's a batch. All transactions are at once. So we can roll back the transaction in Redis using discard. The command is used for rollback is discard. The next point is Redis pipeline. Redis is a TCP server and listening to the port 637924. The clients are connected to this port and sending the request, and the server gives the reply back. So the client and the servers are connected to a network link. This network link can be fast or slow. If we connect to a local host, the loopback address so it becomes very fast. So if it is all internet, so many hops are there, so it will become slow. Normally, the request and response execution of the request and response in a blocking way, so that the client can send a request to the server. The server will process it and gives the reply back to the client. So the time taken, whatever the network speed or network latency is, there's a time for the packet to travel from the client to server and server to the client. So that time is called round trip time. The Redis pipeline optimizes the round trip time. That means by using this facility, we can file the number of commands in a row in a non-blocking manner. The Redis server will collect the replies and cache the tag. At the end of this command execution, will get back to the client. So that's the Redis pipeline. Just remember that Redis pipeline, it's okay. It provides a great advantage for executing a lot of commands in a row. But the problem is that suppose we have 50,000 commands in a single pipeline, then the output of this 50,000 commands will be stored at the server. So it will store the memory. So it will cause the out of memory issues. Of course, it's not transactional or at all. Next is scripting with Lua. We know that in RDBs we have stored procedures and functions within the DB. Using procedures and functions, it becomes very fast while comparing to the accessing from the program. So the similar thing is Lua. We can run Lua script inside Redis. Redis provides a runtime for executing this Lua. It's a very lightweight scripting language, and it's known as the fastest scripting language in the world. So it's very similar to BASIC programming language. The next one is partitioning. Partitioning means we are splitting up the data into different machines. As I said, Nikhil and Sai mentioned about the partitioning and sharding. It's very similar things. the data is picking up to different machines. So, okay, the, the basic, there are two different types of partitioning. These are low, hash partitioning and range partitioning. Suppose we have four instances of registers like R0, R1, R2 and R3. In range partitioning, suppose we have a user of ID, I have 10,000 users or 50,000 users. I am going to split the data into these four database, four instances by 0 to 10,000 in one and 10,001 to 20,000 in another, like this. And the hash partition, we can, here we are actually passing the key into a function, it will return a number, and using a modular function to make it a number between these 0 and 3, because R0, R1, R2, R3. So it will return a number between 0 and 3. So that you use this number, we can store the values in the instance. These are different ways of partitioning. To client-side partitioning. The client-side partitioning means the client requests, query issue, send a command to the particular Redis instance. There are so many instances out there, but the client knows about this, where it lies, so that the client can directly query the instance. The proxy assisted partitioning means there is a proxy server between the client and the servers. So the client directly query the proxy instead of directly querying the instances. The proxy server is capable of redirecting the queries to the particular base instance. The query routing is that Redis client sends the query to a random instance. The random instance, the instance which route that query to the other instances and reply back to itself. Right. So disadvantage partitioning. So suppose we have a set of operations. We have to do a set of operations that we have to intersect two sets, but these sets are in two different instances. Redis instance. This is not possible in Redis. Also, data handling is more complex. Yeah. So, any questions?